And welcome back, friends, to Front Office Sports Today with Renee Washington and Baker Pachado. Well, the college football season is officially here, Renee. We get the Week 0 matchup in Ireland between Kansas State and Iowa State kicking things off for us. This is the Big 12 has 4 teams in the top 25 entering in the season. So let's get a preview of what we can expect for the Big 12 season, plus a bunch of other football-related topics. Let's bring in TNT Big 12 studio analyst Victor Cruz. Victor, good to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us, my man.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, so I know this game is not on TNT Sports, but I got to get your first take on this Iowa State, K-State game in Ireland. We know the Big 12 commissioner loves these ideas of all these international games. Do you like them too for the Big 12?
I like them as well. I think that it's very important for the Big 12 to continue to get as much notoriety, extend their fan base, get people talking about the Big 12 from all over the world, obviously. And I like K-State as well. I think they're a team that's much improved. I love their quarterback. I think he's going to do some really, really great things. I love this year in quarterbacks in general in college football. There's so many. I think there's like 12 or 13 that are like viable, legitimate first round draft picks. At least they have the potential to be so. So I'm excited for the Big 12. I'm excited for these international games, and I'm excited for Kansas State as well.
Yeah, looking at Kansas State, them along with a team like Arizona State returning back such a strong offensive line. You've got Texas Tech that spent a ton of money in NIL coming into the season. Colorado and Coach Prime, Poster Sanders and Travis Hunter. How do you think that the Big 12 compares with the rest of college football with what they've been able to do to bolster their rosters?
I think they're right there. I think when you look at what they've done this year and even last year, just Colorado being that driving force of getting people to talk about the Big 12, getting people excited about that conference, getting people to look at that conference a bit differently. I think they're going to be right in the mix and have some teams that are going to be viable and competing for the college football playoff. And all the teams you just mentioned, Arizona State, Sam Levitt's one of those quarterbacks that you're looking at as one of those first round draft picks again, really, really talented. Obviously, we're looking to see what Prime does with Colorado, post Shador Sanders. I mean, there's so many great storylines in the Big 12. Texas Tech, what can they do with all these highly talented portal guys that they went and paid for and got on that football team and see what that roster looks like? And can they compete with the SECs of the world with all the changes that are going on in that conference as well? So I'm excited to see where it all shapes out. And me, Adam, Champ, and Tequila Spikes will be front center to talk about it all.
Well, we're going to talk about your studio co-hosts here in just a moment, but let's get back to this point you just brought up is how does the Big 12 stack up against these big conferences like the SEC and the Big 10, which it seems like it's becoming over time, Victor, maybe just a 2 giant dominant conference sort of league out there. Where does the Big 12 sort of stack up against these other ones?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they're fighting for relevancy, and I don't think they're far behind. I think when you have these teams, when you have the parity that they have in the conference specifically, and when you look at the money that's being spent, the NILs in the Big 12 right now, and I think it's going to take them having to beat some of these out of conference teams. Like when they have the opportunity to play these SEC schools, putting their best foot forward, winning some of those games, and that's when the tide will start to change and people will start to look at the Big 12 a bit differently. But I think they made some noise last year. But I think they can only go up from here. But it's tough to handle and be in the same conversations as the Big Ten and the SEC right now. But I think the Big 12 is right there in third.
Yeah, and for the SEC and the Big Ten, we've talked about it here on the show as well, expanding their conference slate to have more conference games at 9 now. In this post-realignment era for the Big 12, as a conference that hasn't had success in getting teams into the playoffs, especially looking at last year, was just Arizona State as the Sun Devils won the conference championship. When you look at the playoff format and all these conversations, how does that best impact the Big 12 as they are making these pushes to climb in the national rankings?
Yeah, I think it helps them because they get those opportunities for like I said, those out of conference games. They have to be circled on the calendar because that's what the committee looks at when they're trying to make these teams. That's why these one loss teams in the Big Ten get the nod because of their strength of schedule and the teams that they play. So these out of conference games, when they get the opportunity to play these Big Ten schools and these SEC schools, they have to be able to win those games and have to be able to be competitive in those games in order to get the committee to be like, oh, let's put a Texas Tech in here because they're a one-loss team, but they played, Ohio State tough, or they played Texas tough, or they won a game against LSU. Like you just need to be able to have those games scheduled on the calendar that are out of conference to put your best foot forward and put your team at the forefront because it's going to take that to get over a team like Ohio State that may have one loss, or even a Clemson right now that may have one loss at the end of the season. It's going to be hard to overcome those teams at the end of the season.
Let's talk about your studio co-hosts
Yes.
here. I mean, you're on TNT Sports. You're joined by Champ Bailey. I'm a Broncos fan, so that's great. Also, you got Takeo Spikes in there as well. How would you sort of describe your camaraderie with those guys and what you guys sort of bring to television audiences?
Oh man, I mean, obviously we've all known each other outside of the studio, just respected each other's game and respected each other's careers for such a long time. So to be able to get in front of each other and really create a rapport, I think we really get along and hang out outside of the studio, which obviously helps our camaraderie inside the studio. But those guys are great, man. I think Adam Lefko also like leading the charge for us and being that host to kind of drive the show and make sure that we're all staying on task. It's an honor to sit next to a guy that wears the yellow jackets in the Hall of Fame, and to Keo, who's had an illustrious college career along with an NFL career. It's a lot of fun, and we banter at each other, we poke at each other. I'm the only offensive guy on the show, so I got to stay strong for my offense and my receivers and stuff like that. Especially going against Champ each and every week, and he's talking about defense and things like that. Talk about Travis Hunter every day last year. So I think it creates good balance for us, and we have a really good time on set.
So many firsts for the conference with the first game overseas that we're seeing with the Big 12, but also the inaugural season with TNT. But I do have to ask, outside the college, I will ask the question
Thank
that
you.
we're all wondering about
Thank
your
you.
Giants. What is going on with the New York Giants? 4 quarterbacks, of course, with Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston leading that charge. But in general, what do you expect from your Giants this season? Do they need you out there bringing out some dance moves? Is that what I'm predicting?
Whatever they need me to do, I will do. Okay. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm really excited about our season. I think we're gonna shock some people. I think our front seven is the best front seven we've had in a very long time. I think we're gonna get to that quarterback defensively and really make it tough for opposing quarterbacks to play against us. And offensively, I mean, we haven't been in this position where we have a young quarterback in Jackson Dart that's playing very, very well. Looks like he's adapting to the NFL speed and the pro level really, really quickly. We got Russell Wilson, who's a phenomenal leader and understands how to get guys galvanized on the football team and get them ready to play. And then you got Jameis Winston, who's like a character, but he's a guy that's thrown 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. He's seen the highs and lows of what this NFL has to offer. So it's an interesting quarterback room to say the least. But I'm excited about Malik Neighbors. I'm excited about our running back core, Cam Scatterboo. Like, I'm just excited what this team has to offer.
Scatterboo could be a big steal for the Giants. We're going to be really excited to see how that all works out.
Antonio DeVito.
Yes. Oh, and yeah, don't forget DeVito, of course. Victor Cruz, good to have you here, Big 12 studio analyst for TNT Sports. Victor, thank you so much for joining us.